Welcome to the acclaimed podcast, The Deep Dive, featuring your esteemed hosts, Andy Monitor and Drew Dinzik, powered by BetSperts.
Welcome to The Deep Dive. Week 13 was as bad as they come for me from a betting standpoint. Not going to have a winning week, no matter how these late games break. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on in the NFL. Not enjoying this, though. It's a weird contrast, too, because I'm very much enjoying the NBA season to this point in the year. I don't have any really takes. I don't think we learned anything today. I don't think there were really many outcomes that changed the playoff picture, except I think Minnesota's probably done now. I don't know. What did you think of today's football?
Yeah, the late games were weird. The Ticats won. The Blue Bombers took care of business. These late games, absolutely bonkers for some of the results that we might see. Like Seattle winning this game would be probably undeserved, but at the same time, it's been such a weird game. We said it on the Wednesday pod, like, oh, the Seattle game might come down to the end.
Absolutely classic that Seattle would wait for now when they're completely out of the playoff mix to go to the well with every fucking trick that they have in the book to try to get a win. Like, what's wrong with these fucking idiots? I hope they retain their jobs and Seattle continues to suck for years to come, because that's basically what you're learning from this season of Seattle Seahawks football. And similarly, shame on the Niners. Like, they came in hot. They were in position to continue to put together a solid end of their season, get themselves into decent position from a seeding standpoint. And they are sloppy as hell today. Like, they just look sloppy. Garoppolo's ball has been fluttery. The defense has been very, very lackadaisical. This was not what I expected to see out of a Niners team that was starting to build a little bit of momentum. So I don't know.
I'm gonna have a pretty ho-hum week too. I really didn't bet. I didn't add anything outside. I bet the Cowboys. I bet the under that was laughable. And I bet that first half Rams for a little bit. So like the little Rams bet takes care of the juice. So I ended up just a titch over into the black. And it was kind of nice not paying attention to some of these games. It's kind of, again, and I can't stress how nice it is to not be a fan of the Minnesota Vikings anymore. I cannot wait to actually, I'm going to have to find the streaming service because I don't have a radio in here. I'll have to find the streaming service that gets me the local morning shows on the computer here, because I suppose I just do it through the phone. Some way, either one way, I will be listening to the morning shows tomorrow because that's going to be highly entertaining. But if you want to, should we swing her from the top?
Sure.
What was the first one in the rotation?
Minnesota, Detroit.
Let's actually quick. I forgot to mention this too. I forgot where we went with team total play of the week of the year.
I think it's
we ended up on
Chiefs
Dallas.
under. We talked about Dallas over.
I went back and listened this afternoon. We settled on Dallas over 26.
Oh, did we? Oh, okay.
Which
that got there.
Barely got there. But I'll count the Chiefs
there a lot easier than it ended up getting there.
Yeah, I'll count the Chiefs one too. That was a number that probably got bet down too, as more Denver money has come in. Although I wouldn't blame
46 now.
Wouldn't blame people if they decided to tease KC down to a reasonable number here. But yeah, Minnesota, Detroit. I don't know what you want to make of what transpired there. We've seen it 3 or 4, 5, 6 times. Like, they get conservative. That was a really poor effort on defense to stop a team that had kind of been moving on them here and there. And the coverage on the last play was hilarious. Like, you put your heels on the goal line. I don't quite understand why he was right. It's like he
there's embarrassing effort, honestly, in every respect. Their quarterback was 30 of 40 for 350 yards passing. Justin Jefferson had 11 catches today for 182 yards against the Lions. They lost. That is awful. That is awful. And getting outscored 20-0 in the second quarter there, not making the most of I think their first 3 red zone trips all ended in field goals against the Lions. I put this way more on the Vikings looking past their opponent than I do on the Lions playing up. Lions, in the absence of Swift, were able to manifest offense in weird ways, and the Vikings had virtually nobody out in the field defensively that could make a play. Losing Barr and Kendricks obviously mattered.
Yeah.
But the Vikings are done. Good riddance to them. I hope I hope a lot of people face a long and very uncomfortable offseason in that organization, because this has been wildly unimpressive from them.
And the way that Kirk played, and Kirk had an amazing day. I mean, just no interceptions, 30, 40, like you said, finding Jefferson out. I mean, for having a day like that with Cook out and Thielen essentially out, you got to give Kirk Cousins some credit there, where I wonder if this is should we throw, which is funny because he's not really a defensive coordinator. I mean, Zimmer runs the defense, but is this one of those like, oh, should we throw the defensive coordinator under the bus, fire somebody, buy me a couple more weeks? Because Zimmer feels full ass hot seat at this point in the season.
Horrific effort. Arizona wins and covers versus Chicago. Chicago was the bet side this week. That total flies over. The under was the hot side this week. So market makers get burned on both Chicago and the under. No real comments.
Did you see that weather? Yeah, like it was a horrible weather day. I guess I don't blame the people that decided to take an under there. It was windy as shit. It was rainy, and just the Bears. It was a combination of the Bears being really poor on defense, especially in a few key spots. And I'm trying to look at what was the red zone for the Cardinals there. The Cardinals were only 2 for 4 in the red zone. They must have had some longer scores there, but just being horrible on defense and then trying late. Like that's how you end up with the game over. The traditional Trubisky garbage touchdowns went to Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton was pretty horrid. He threw 4 picks. 1 or 2 of them really weren't all his fault, but he was throwing bad balls all day. And yeah, the Bears are another team that is probably, again, not eliminated. The only team eliminated.
They're going to try to lose this game too. Holy shit, man.
The only team eliminated is
wow,
the Texans now. Detroit technically still not somehow, I guess, but the Bears, it feels like their season's over. And the Cardinals.
Didn't you see that viral tweet that was like, here's how the 6 and 10 and 1 Lions get into the playoffs?
Yeah, I don't think all the other things happened this week. I'll have to go back. So it'd be funny. It'd be funny if we went back and checked and they all did. Because it feels like if the Niners lost, if the Bears lost, like those are all things that New Orleans lost. They were in the race. Atlanta lost. Christ, maybe everything did happen.
Philly won. I think Philly needed to lose.
Yeah, that was suboptimal for them. But
Philly, I don't know if you remember, has the tiebreaker over Detroit.
Eric had Eric Eager. He had a good tweet. It was just, I don't remember exactly, but it was very short. It's just something like the 7 seed was a bad idea. It's like, there's gonna be a couple shitty teams in the old
what else I want to mention? Detroit Minnesota under got bet. That went flying over. Yeah, I mean the really heavy swingers in the market just got absolutely bloodied up this week. Tampa Bay, Atlanta, that came down to a end of game red zone opportunity that Atlanta bottled. That would have taken the game over, and it would have. Oh man, they reversed the call.
It would have put them inside the number too.
God damn it. It would have put them inside the number. It would have taken the game over. That was obviously unfortunate for anyone who bet Atlanta or anyone who played the over again. Which I take it back. Tampa Bay was the hot side on that one.
Yeah, and I think they were. It's a weird one to grade. Like, were they right? Should they have had it? Because Atlanta was the beneficiary of a 3-yard pick six, and at the same time, I haven't paired out all the garbage yards and how many of these yards came at a very low win probability percentage, game state. But the Falcons put up quite a few yards, and really, it was a 1-1 turnover game. They had 50 fewer yards than the Tampa Bay Bucks. Just the Bucks. Mm-hmm. The Bucks are like, hey, we're going to throw the ball all the time.
51 pass attempts for Tom Brady
all the time. But like we have our lead running backs can have like a dozen carries. That's it. If you can try to stop that,
Baker's doesn't. Baker's
you
doesn't.
You might beat us. Like we're gonna throw and throw and throw and throw, and even with receivers, in, out, vaccine cards, injuries. Gronk was out for a few weeks. They're just going to do the same thing. We're always going to throw, and if you can stop it, good luck. But even on the road here, it was a nice offensive performance. Obviously, that pick six was a little stained, but otherwise, Brady looked good.
Yeah,
it's going to be a pain in the ass team.
Godwin had 17 targets today, caught 15 for 143. He had a day. Mike Evans had 10 targets. Gronkowski had 8. Leonard Fournette had 8 targets. He caught 7 of them. Good for him. He's really rounding into the receiving back that they want him to be. And that's actually really kind of changing their complexion, making them a lot more dangerous. The Buccaneers remain the best team in the NFL. Brady remains your clubhouse leader for MVP until further notice.
We laughed about the Lenny signing, man.
He's been great.
We laughed about it like in the way that we laughed about everybody signing Adrian Peterson for a week or two, and he's been great. Like, man, he was a top 5 pick. I guess maybe it's just Cordarrelle Patterson where somebody had to use him properly or put him on a
Peterson
team with
has not
skills.
been great for what it's worth.
No.
Fournette, right?
No, I'm talking about Fournette.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Adrian Peterson is. It's like how Cam had 4 touchdowns, man. Like you're gonna find your way into some of these short yardage things, and he can, like the run he had. Any running back in the league is hitting that corner and making that touchdown. It's not like Adrian Peterson's making a noted difference. So yeah, I'm not sure if Falcon fans or backers deserved a better fate. Obviously not fans. I don't think they deserve to win, but maybe getting inside that number and probably the over deserved to get there with that many yards. But we'll move on to Denver, Kansas City is technically next in the rotation number. I'm going to skip it because that game has not happened yet. We'll go to Indy, Houston, and this was a good old-fashioned ass whooping.
It's my only win of the day.
This was similar to the one what was the game where he had 5 touchdowns, Jonathan Taylor. And then you look at the box score and you're like, oh my God, Wentz had like 150 yards. And
158,
yeah. It was the same kind of thing. They, as a team, you see this sometimes in a box score where you'll see like the team's average yards per rush is gaudy, and it's because somebody broke like a 92-yarder, and it just ramps the average up. Like some wide receiver, double reverse had one rush for 92 yards. The longest rush in this game for them was 25 by Pittman, to prove my point, I guess. But nobody had one of those huge breakout, and they still, as a team, averaged 5 yards per carry. That includes anybody who toted the rock, even Sam Ellinger's -1 yard kneel. So, I'm assuming he went out there for that. I didn't catch the end of the game. Ellinger got some playing time, though. Hook him. Jonathan Taylor, a paltry 143 yards. Yeah, this is just kind of gross one-way traffic. Davis Mills played.
Is that because Tyrod Taylor got removed for ineffectiveness, or did he get hurt?
I think he got hurt. Honestly, I do. I think I remember him actually getting dinged up, but it could have been for either. Really, it might have been where he's not that hurt, but he's 5 of 13 for 45 yards. Oh
man,
yeah. Well, I mean, what are you going to say? Even Brandon Cooks, Cooks didn't have much of a day. So ugly team, and Colts doing what they do, not that far behind. They are definitely looking at the probably.
Oh yeah, I think they're closer to in than out at this point.
Well, I'm talking the division still isn't completely out of.
Yeah, no. As I look at the Colts right now, that's a clear playoff team, in my opinion, just based on the quality of play you're getting and what they have left.
Yeah, and that was something that people kind of commented on when they bet the Colts earlier in the season or mid-season. There, they did have an easier strength of schedule. Technically, right now, they're not in the playoffs.
Oh, really?
They're behind the Broncos, man. They're behind the Bengals. They're behind the Chargers. They're behind the Bills. And
wow,
that is due to having an extra loss. They're 7-6 compared to those 7-5, 7-4 teams for the Bills who've not yet played this week. Things can change, but yeah, I definitely feel that they can hop some of those squads and make it their way into the playoffs.
I mean, Pittsburgh's still in it if they can get this win, which it looks like they are going to.
They're only a game and a half behind the Titans, technically 2.5 because of the tiebreaker.
I don't understand what the Ravens are doing in this game. I don't understand what Harbaugh's doing. What is he doing?
Good coaches have been bad this week.
The hell, man.
What does that leave us? Yeah, we shouldn't even have talked about that game that long. Philly and the Jets, I guess.
Flew over
somehow. Minshew was great. I think right away you're just like, oh, this is dicked hard.
First kick return went almost to the house, and then it was just bang, 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 and it's like, oh, okay, this is just a wide open. I got some second half under home. That was the only thing that I felt positive about this game at all. I don't think you learned anything really about who Gardner Minshew is as a player up against this Jets defense. The Jets defense was awful in this game. Minshew was 20 of 25, 250, 2 touchdowns. He ran 4 of 11.
Yeah, he was great, but it was
Sanders
against the
was
Jets,
good on the ground. The Eagles ran the ball 41 times for 4.5 per. This is just a good. I mean, their offensive line dictated here. Yeah, there's been a while since the Jets had a really good defensive performance. It's been a while, and this was not one that you put on your resume if you're a Jets defender. Zach Wilson,
the Jets scoring 18 points on 3 touchdowns is very Jets.
It is.
That made me happy. No extra points, no 2-point conversions that got home. Very weird scoreline in the first half, and yeah, they had to. The only way they win that game is going score for score, and they stopped doing that at some point. Yes, I mean, our guy Elijah Moore had a nice day. He's a nice little bright spot on a turd of a team. But Zach Wilson, 23 of 38, a pick, a couple sacks, rating under 90. Not a good day. Another not a good day for him, even at home. And again, it was a team week. I'm surprised he only got sacked twice. Only 4 sacks in that whole game.
That was surprising. Honestly, the lack of intensity by both D-lines was really weird in that one. Chargers get a big old lead against Cincinnati, give up almost the entirety of the lead. It went from like 24-6 to 24-22, and it was like,
it was
crap. How
24-0
happening? It was 24-0? Went from 24-0 to
24-0.
So you had 24 unanswered, followed by 22 unanswered.
Yep.
Followed by 17 unanswered. Is that right? Do I have that right?
Yeah, it's a game of runs. This is why one of the weirdest looks, one of those weirdest bets that people can't wrap their brain around. And I'm not saying you people, I'm saying myself included, is that will any team score 3 consecutive times bet? You see some paper heads, and you'll see it just a few places here and there, and it's super juicy to the yes, because it always happens. Like a team scoring 3 straight times sounds like it's hard to do. It happens in a very big majority of the games, and obviously spelled out in this one especially. And yeah, it was 24-0, and it felt very Chargery as the Chargers and the Lions were giving up big leads, multi-score leads, and then Burrow's injury maybe kept him from absolutely dicking that up, because he didn't look the same. Although they still did move the ball a couple times. There were some bad turnovers in that one as well. Like that, just bad. It was just turnovers at bad
game
times.
In general by the Bengals. To get a home game against that team in that spot and not do better was pretty disappointing for the Bengals. They now find their backs against the wall if they intend to win their division or get a playoff spot. All of a sudden, everybody's up their ass for a playoff spot.
And they will end up being only 1 game behind the Ravens if the Ravens fall here.
Yeah, right. It's amazing.
Which is something. They're still in the playoffs as of this very moment while we're recording this. They are your 7th seed. Amazing to say that. And then, it might not matter if if he has one of those.
What the hell with Seattle being aggressive today? Like all of a sudden now they now that their season is over, they're like, you know what? We're gonna go for it on every fourth. We're gonna let's pull out the fake punt in the first quarter. What is going on here?
It was a good fake punt too.
I mean, I know that it doesn't matter where they finish because they traded away their draft picks because they're fucking idiots. But it's still like, why now? Go all in on the season. What is this team?
I don't know. You see this from teams. I mean, Lions being one of the best cases for it, even if it's somewhat by accident. Like, Your
So
season's
guys
lost.
playing for jobs, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, what does it matter? And I guess some of it comes with job security too. Like I don't think Pete feels like he's even close to being on the hot seat, despite having a horrid season. He can blame some of it on Russ.
I wish
He can use
him a long career in Seattle from here and make everyone there miserable.
I mean, it rains a lot already. I think those people are not so cheery anyway. Although I had a lot of fun when I was in Seattle the one time, and people were pretty nice, and it didn't rain that day. Yeah, it's odd. Some teams don't act this way when they're having a losing season, because it actually would behoove you to play minus EV football when it comes to those in-game decisions to not win games. And despite, you can say they don't have a first round draft pick. Well, they have a second round, they have third, maybe. I'd have to check.
Well, I hope Jax mentions they have pride. I hope all of these guys will be happy remembered by history that with Russell Wilson, they managed one Super Bowl. Congratulations, Seattle.
And the Legion
Congratulations. Russell Wilson, Legion Boom, you got one Super Bowl. Nice job.
Super Bowls are hard, Drew. Oh, we got salty Drew today.
Oh, yeah. This fucking NFL slate absolutely sucked. And I am losing my ass in this sport, so I hate it. I don't know what else to tell you.
New England.
Oh, look
Buffalo.
at that. Pittsburgh touchdown. Pittsburgh's going to win outright here. I guess better.
How much time is left?
Better. It's a minute 80.
Yeah, this is way better.
That was way better for the Ravens than killing the. Why is Pittsburgh even throwing here? What is wrong with these guys? What is wrong with these idiots? What are they doing?
Giants, Miami. Tua. I mean, just going in, you probably said like Tua's probably going to be the better quarterback here because
Niners
it's Mike
remember
Glennon.
to fumble at the 2, so safety's coming up for sure as Jimmy Garoppolo gets
a double safety
pressured in the end zone.
Tua was good. Waddle. Here's a hot take. Waddle better than Chase.
This game happened, I guess. Let's keep moving.
Yeah. So the Dolphins won 20-9. Mike Glennon surprisingly wasn't all that great. No touchdowns, 1 interception. Saquon Barkley still not really getting a ton done. He had one nice long run, really pedestrian day otherwise, and obviously they were playing from behind for a portion of the game.
The Giants are an embarrassment of a franchise. We can move on.
Injury to Galladay. I think that's not only having a bad season and being a bit of an embarrassment of a franchise, but man, he spent a lot of money on some of this stuff. And Galladay is not producing at all. That's how you lose a whole season that probably could have been half decent. Where does that leave us? The Washington football team playing the Las Vegas Raiders, which is happening. It happened. It already happened.
Over,
Big balls, Brian Johnson. I don't have a good take on how that game should have gone. That was an ugly one. I kind of expected a little more scoring in that.
Yeah, you know what's weird? When you get like 24 first downs and 17 points.
Yes. There was over
I think Washington today.
Over 600 total yards.
600? Oh, okay. All right, cool.
600 total yards.
Without really even threatening.
Yeah. 32 points. Yeah, absolutely. Your red zone. And you know what? The teams went 3 for 4 combined in the red zone. Still stayed under. Just weird ways to end drives.
You know what it was? It was all the turnovers. Oh, there was one turnover.
One turnover. What the fuck happened in this game?
It was all, you know what it was? Every time they got in scoring position, there was a sack that took. Oh no, wait, there's 3 sacks.
There was only 3 sacks.
What the hell happened?
How many punts were there? Like 100? Did this game just go super fast? They each had 9 total drives. It's not super low. I don't know. I'm gonna have to dig deeper into this. Either way,
they each punted 4 times.
I was forced to start Heineke in one of my fantasy leagues, which wasn't any fun. So I kind of paid attention, but at the same time, I didn't care to pay attention to this one all that much. Logan Thomas looked like he got hurt pretty bad at the end. That hurts this team. That sucks because they don't have a huge cabinet full of.
I mean, real like if we take just like a mini step back, Washington should have won this game so easily. And the fact that it took a last-minute drive and a field goal from a kicker they just signed off the street is insane. They played so much better for so much of this game, and it was they find ways to take points off the board, and it's bizarre.
anytime you're facing Hunter Renfrow, though, weird things
Well,
happen.
that's a good point. He went 9 for 102.
Somehow, some way. Raiders had more yards per play, but were 2 for 8 on third down, which is
Neither
not how you
team
win a game.
even had a failed fourth down conversion.
No, I'm
What
trying.
the
I need
hell
to go
happened?
look at this drive chart. Just how did these end? How long were these drives? There wasn't even. There was the longest drives were all like 6.5, 6:05, 6:14.
I mean, there were several 6-minute drives. There were back-to-back 6-minute drives that ended in punts in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's fair. That's how you get there.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was first half, I guess. I don't know. I don't have anything to say about this team.
Baltimore, Pittsburgh is still happening. The Ravens.
Oh my God, the Niners cannot catch a break.
Driving for overtime. Actually,
shit.
Yeah, the nine. Let's just lump these together because they're not done, and we can have more takes on these Wednesday. But the Niners and the Ravens, which met 10 years or so ago in the Harbaugh
Bowl.
Many
consequential penalties for the Niners in this one. I'm really at a loss.
They are both driving down 7 with short time. The Niners have a little more time than the Ravens, but they also have a quarterback who can throw the ball. Psych. Actually, Jimmy Garoppolo does have 2 touchdowns today, but 16 and 24
His
so
ball
far.
has looked really poor today.
Both these quarterbacks that are driving right now, not giving me a ton of confidence that we'll see overtime in either of these games. Although Elijah Mitchell just took him over the halfway mark. What do you want to call that? The 50-yard line.
Oh, he gained a first down on that. Oh, yeah, okay.
On a 6-yard carry. Look at him go. Otherwise, the Ravens are moving backwards with penalties. Yeah, the penalties have been weird. The Seahawks-Niners game is weird in general. I mean, just looking at that box score too. I mean, we had a safety. You had I want to say the Niners should be in better shape, but the Niners benefited from a touchdown pass that fell out of the guy's hands and turned into an interception. Each team with 3 turnovers. Like when I feel like whenever you get one of these games where both teams have at least 2 or 3 turnovers, it's really hard to start grading who should be winning the game, because you got to start looking at the context of all the turnovers. Like, were these, were they in plus territory? Were they here? Were they there? Oh my God. Lamar got real lucky that ball rolled out of bounds. Maybe we'll touch on these a little later when they actually finish up at I can say the Rams Jaguars was ugly. Stafford probably inserting himself back into the MVP conversation just because nobody. I mean, Mahomes and Allen have yet. Allen, I sound like a Yinzer. Mahomes and Allen have yet to play, but I mean, really, it's just Brady right now, and Stafford can probably insert himself in there if they are able to overtake the Cardinals by winning. That's the $1 million
question.
I think they have to beat the Cardinals and maybe win the division.
They have to. Stafford was good in this one. Cooper Kupp remains amazing.
Sonny Michel.
Odell Beckham Jr. sighting. He had one play in this one. Sonny Michel looks good. If you haven't picked him up in fantasy, I don't know what you're doing. You're going to lose your fantasy championship when he goes for 4 touchdowns in the championship game.
I feel like I did start him today. I got to go look. Look at that. I have a Tom Brady, Sonny Michel. Oh my God! For a second, I thought it said Justin Jefferson. It was Jamar Jefferson. That's how bad I started Jamar. I'm like, how do you only have 1.8? Because it's Jamar Jefferson. But Keenan Allen on that team too. So that team should win this week. What does that leave us with? Is that almost everything? Just kind of these
that's it.
These last couple that are kind of.
I guess real quick about the Jaguars Rams game. I don't know what the Jaguars were doing in the second half. Like, I don't know what the they had the philosophy was weird. They were running their base offense. Like the game was 0-0 first quarter. It was a super, super strange approach to how they were conducting that game offensively. And I never really got it. Did they even go for it on 4th down, even though they were down, huge amount of points in this one? I don't even know if they went for it twice. They got one and missed one. But the whole fourth quarter, they just kind of white flagged in a way that I haven't seen a lot of teams do.
So, and it harkens back a little bit to what I said about Seattle. And like, if a team is in a lost season, and the Jaguars more so than most teams are, Like, should they be trying to win games? The answer is no, but it doesn't always mean, I should take back part of what I said. It doesn't always mean you shouldn't make plus EV decisions. You should make the decisions that are better for, hey, let's get our young quarterback more reps. Let's try to run a 2-minute offense against an NFL defense right now. Let's try to run a 4-minute offense. Like, you got to start treating these like real life practices and scrimmages. Like, if you're going to go out there and get shit kicked every week, that's fine. Go get a high draft pick, but use these situations to if not, like practice, at least evaluate everybody on the team, because you're clearly still pretty far into the rebuild position, and you need to be knowing what you need to be doing for free agency, for drafting, for scouting, for everything. So the more, Lamar to
touchdown.
Watkins.
Yeah.
The more you can,
overtime.
You could take that and say, well, Andy, don't you want to evaluate your defense too? Yeah, that's true. But I'd really want to evaluate my quarterback and figure out what's going on with him. And at the same time, it's hard to evaluate your defense when they're just playing against a team running Sony Michel every down because they're up by 4 scores.
Yeah. Yeah. Tomorrow night looks like we're going to get a couple of evening snow showers, otherwise mostly cloudy. Winds gradually subsiding and colder. A cold evening for football. I'm seeing wind of 20 miles an hour, wind gusts of 48. So it's basically just going to be a blustery, flurry mess tomorrow. Pass. No interest in betting that game.
No interest in that. Did we talk much about tonight's game? I know we did a little on the pod.
Yeah, no, we broke it down.
We said, hey, if there's a 10 out there, that's a good number that's not going to exist on Sunday.
And
I think we were pretty correct on that. So
was it 8.5? What is the actual number?
There's 8s. I know it's been moving a little. I'd say market consensus is 8.5. I've seen one juicy, weird, 9.5 in the market, but Pinnacle, Chris, a lot of the market makers are sitting right at 8.5. Tilted closer to an 8, honestly, though. So good job if you grabbed a Denver number. This is going to be one of those funny ones where congrats on your 10 if they lose by 30 or something. But I really do think they have the defense to stick with somebody.
So the Ravens are going for 2 here.
Oh, boy.
They're not interested in playing overtime, apparently.
Nobody wants to be
2-point conversion attempt failed.
Wow. I guess, nobody wants to be in Pittsburgh any longer than they have to.
What do you think of that decision?
I wonder if he makes the same call at home.
Do you think they would have been underdogs live if they go to overtime? Probably not, right?
No,
they're favored live.
That's the thing, and that's a big disconnect here, as far as when did
really horrific execution on that play too.
Yeah, if you're an underdog, if you're a big underdog, do you remember there was an NFC East game like this last year, the year before, where they went for 2 and they clearly should have. Like, let's not have overtime in this horrible game. None of this matters.
Ron Rivera and the Washington football team that was 0-4 against the 0-4 Giants when he went for 2 at the end.
Yeah. I'm sure it was Washington.
Put this game out of their misery.
Yeah, let's put this game out of its misery. Or you're a big underdog, and again, the season doesn't matter. Just go for it. Don't. And maybe in my case that I just made, you should be playing overtime so you have more time to evaluate. But I don't quite understand this one. I guess, were they worried about their kicker being shaky? That's not a thing.
Justin Tucker,
15 years. Yeah,
Justin Tucker had the.
That's
whip,
the only other.
Did
Justin Tucker? The only explanation Justin Tucker was in the crapper.
Damn. You want
to? Now you're onside.
The real disaster of this game, beyond just the fact that Pittsburgh wins, is TJ Watt had 3.5 sacks.
Oh man, COVID making him strong, just like that John Rahm when he got the COVID and all of a sudden he played really well.
I know you were joking about the kicker.
No, yeah, for sure. Like, that's not a thing. Well, yeah, he either was missing or, no. When you start looking at why would somebody do this, that's always a reason. Like, the kicker's shaky, but yeah, that's not a thing that happens in Baltimore.
I also don't entirely understand San Francisco's decision making here on this sequence of goal to go. What do you think?
Did you see who had the onside kick last week where they had a guy lined up wrong or whatever? That bothered me. Onside kick should be easier to get.
Oh yeah, that was really, really bad.
That was dumb.
That was Washington Seattle game.
Yeah. It was the Monday night game.
Yeah, they really, really, really should not have called a procedural penalty in that spot.
Yeah, that sucked. Are we bound and determined to get a Washington-Miami Super Bowl? These teams can't be beaten all of a sudden.
No.
No. I know.
The what do you call it? The Ryan Fitzpatrick Bowl.
Oh,
those are
gosh.
his two most recent teams.
You know how they had that Pac-12 game, just that random one on Saturday night? We should do that during the playoffs. The teams might actually be in the playoffs. If they're not, though, they should make Washington play.
This goal to go sequence will never end, and I think it probably will end. And San Francisco is going to lose this game. This is
Super Bowl 7 rematch.
This is really disappointing performance by San Francisco. Really bad. I mean, no one's on their heels, I guess. Actually, Washington wins, Philly wins, so Niners are in a little bit of a tight spot all of a sudden. Only one of those three teams is going to the playoffs, and San Francisco's got to play NFC West teams while Washington and Philly get to play each other a couple times.
We're in a tight spot. That's from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Which I've been quoting a lot because of Gerald Everett.
Oh, okay. All right, let's look at the upcoming games. I don't have anything else to say about this week. That's it. Ball game.
Neither team driving was able to tie and put the game into overtime. Oh, good. Bookmaker has scheduled maintenance. Last time they did this, it was down for like a week.
Probably better for all
of them. I felt like it was down longer than they said it would be, is where I'm going. So I'm not seeing anything there. I'm gonna have to pull someone else. So maybe don't rely on the screen for this one.
It's a good thing that they're not up.
They don't have anything up.
I would have a lot of live Hawks tickets, and I would be feeling very sweaty right now. The Hawks are playing the Hornets. The Hornets are missing everyone, and the Hornets are winning.
Are you surprised that we haven't seen more movement in the Monday night game yet?
Not really. I think there's very solid two-way action there on the sides. What do you think?
Yeah. I guess I expected some two-way action, but I also expected a little more Patriots dog money.
It came early in the week. People took
I mean, it did right away, but that's the thing. It was able to move off the 3 so easily. The fact that we haven't seen people hammering that money line it's 2.5. Maybe I'll just bet them to win. And we see both markets fall down to 1.5 anyway. So it doesn't take a lot to go from 2.5 to 1. So I'm a little surprised we haven't seen a little more Patriots. Maybe it's a day of thing, especially if it is going to be a lot of public money. I think you'll see. And maybe, you have college football every week, but massive day for college football yesterday. And obviously it's a couple days away from then, a couple days away from the weekend starting. So maybe we see some more action on that tomorrow. Pittsburgh, who just won, is a underdog heading to Minnesota on Thursday night. Do you think they fire anyone? I kind of feel like they don't.
No.
Although somebody just mentioned Joe Brady, and you're like, Joe Brady getting shit canned, kind of surprising.
Yeah, what was with that?
Scapegoat offense wasn't good.
It was very, very surprising.
And that was Matt Rule really wanted him there too. So kind of a weird thing because you think it would say it's a call. What do you make this? Minnesota, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's defense played well at times, but again, Lamar is an MVP, and I'm about to say Lamar is no Kirk Cousins.
I mean, Minnesota's defense is at the same state they were at the beginning of last season, where they just have no talent.
If the linebackers,
who was the most talented defensive player on the field for Minnesota today?
Smith.
Okay. Did he do anything?
Oh, it's more of a it's a team game.
Okay.
He's not a big stat guy. Oh, he crashes down in the box nice. I don't know, maybe a pass rusher. They've had so many injuries in the front seven. The fact that you have a decent safety and some bad corners, and Patrick Peterson, not Patrick Peterson from the chat, Patrick Peterson from the Vikings, he's had some COVID issues too. So the Minnesota defense is going to stink. Do we think Pittsburgh actually looks good? Because I didn't think that highly of the Ravens defense, and Pittsburgh didn't do all that much to impress me today. It is indoors. What I'm asking, is this a good Big Ben game? Or we just pass on this for now? I don't think Minnesota should be favored by 3.5.
No, I don't either. I think this is Steelers or pass.
And the total's probably just about right for me.
Yeah, no, 3.5, 4.5 in some places is kind of bananas. I don't know what Minnesota's doing to earn that respect right now, especially if Thielen's unavailable. If Thielen's unavailable, this is an easy Pittsburgh play.
Follow the Thielen injury, follow the Barr injury, follow the other injuries at linebacker and D-back or D-line and see where that goes. And I think you can probably take a stab at that one. We are going to talk about this, even though they haven't played yet. The Chiefs are laying 8.5 to the Raiders. Let's say we were right. And let's say we're right both ways. The Chiefs win. They look good, but they don't blow them out. They end up winning by 7 or 8. Like, does this move at all?
Yeah. Maybe down a hair. I don't know that there's much betting market interest in going to the war with the Raiders right now, but I could see if this is a defensive game, if it's an ugly win for KC, then I could see this coming down to a flat 8.5. I guess it's 8.5. You can get flat 8.5 actually a couple places right now.
Yeah.
Are you saying if you want Raiders, you're best off taking them now, or if you want to lay Chiefs, you're best off laying it now?
Well, I'm just saying what was the most likely way that this line moves? I still think the big blowout is low probability. And this getting on the other side of, or if you really want to lay it with the Chiefs, I guess what's the difference between 8.5 and 10, honestly?
Yeah.
At home versus Raiders. So, yeah, probably a pass for me.
Yeah.
Although this total.
This is Chiefs or pass.
The fact that the Raiders played poorly on offense, finishing at least, I'm kind of hoping for a low-scoring affair tonight. This total to drop a little. I'd be interested in this total at 50.
Man, the Raiders really played their Super Bowl on Thanksgiving, and I don't know what happens now.
Yeah, Bisecchia or whatever. He needs to rally the troops again. Saints laying 6 points on the road versus the Jets.
Don't get that. Don't understand what the Saints have done to warrant laying that many points.
Yeah, the Jets moved the ball a little today against a better pass rush. Saints have decent secondary at times.
Saints have extra rest.
It's too many, but at the same time, you're going to go to war with
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson, even at home.
No, much more complicated defense than the simple defense they faced today.
Yeah. No interest in that one. Jags laying.
You just blew by San Francisco, Cincinnati. This is one of the better games of the weekend.
I'm not looking at the board. I don't have that one up. It's a 3:25 game on this one. They must.
That's right. They flexed it to the.
I'm just going down the board on Bet Online.
Okay, Jacksonville, Tennessee, easy pass.
Easy pass. What are you gonna do? Like, you could lay the 10.5 or don't. I guess. Like, the Jags might get shit stomped. I feel like they could move the ball a little more easily on Tennessee than anything we saw them try to do today. But at the same time, you're kind of hoping for a backdoor here. Have fun with that.
Over 43.5.
I'm tempted with this over because I think Jags, man, just seeing their end of game antics today made me a little scared of this. But yeah, if I had to bet, it'd be the over.
I think it's over. Yeah, I agree.
Ravens, Browns just fucking playing each other again. The Ravens coming off of an ugly win and an ugly loss. 2 straight weeks of not hitting 20. Heading to Cleveland, where God knows we'll probably have weather. And this is a total of 43.5 and a pick. Pick your poison. Lamar with a broken brain right now. Can't get out of his own head, it looks like. Throwing picks left and right, or a very injured Baker Mayfield.
Is it going to be Baker and not Case Keenum?
I don't know.
Man, really want to be Case Keenum. We need Myles Garrett to get 3.5 sacks.
At
That's
least.
all I know. Nick Bosa had a good day today too. So Nick Bosa and TJ Watt are very much on Myles Garrett's ass.
Right on
For
his ass.
DPOI. Yeah.
If I had to bet it, I'd probably bet the Browns. I wouldn't feel very good about it.
Yeah. Oh no, same. I probably will eventually bet the Browns, especially if this number survives.
A big part of what's
early.
Yeah, a big part of what's wrong has just been the injuries. Like they're a good team that's been pretty injured, so maybe they get a little healthier and we see them play well. I certainly can't back the Ravens right now the way everything's going. You lead. What's the next one on the rotation? I'll just go to it.
Atlanta, Carolina.
Atlanta is the road underdog to the Carolina Panthers, who will have a new offensive coordinator calling plays.
That should fix everything.
That'll fix the quarterback problems. Total 43 at Carolina. Falcons squirrely today again against a.
Yeah, I think you have to play the Falcons
team.
or pass.
Yeah, I'm fine betting against Carolina throughout most of the rest of the season.
You think take the 3 now and this trickles to 2.5?
Are they going to make? Yeah. How many more times are you going to get to bet against Carolina and get points?
Probably not very many. This might be it, actually. This might be it.
Let's go to war with Matt Ryan.
All right, let's do it. Atlanta +3.
I don't think I saw
Let's take those flat threes.
I don't think I saw really any bad injuries for Atlanta today. Anybody can update me on that if I'm dead wrong, but I feel like they made it through pretty much unscathed. All right, that takes us to...
Is Cordero Patterson, the MVP, going to be available? That's all I care about.
Yeah, if he is, they move the ball. All right. Let's just go Dallas-Washington then. Dallas is a 4-point favorite, only a 4-point favorite in Ralston. Total 49. I guess we just went to war with Dallas. I did, at least. We played their team total. I mean, if it's in, let's say even we're giving a point for home field, 6 points at home. When you bet them 6 points,
Washington had their ass in the jackpot today. They still won. They got their ass in the jackpot again a little. They got to play another Thursday nighter. They got another extended rest against them.
So Dallas with extra rest, should we just bet this 4 and assume it goes up? Take our CLV and buy something with it?
No, I'm out on that.
I am. I'm doing it. Cowboys.
You're doing it. You're a Cowboys guy, so I support you.
I kind of am.
I support you.
I'm putting it in the queue. I think it goes up.
Do it.
It's already started.
You do your thing, man. So. They got a fully healthy offense. This is another week. They're going up against a team that can't defend the pass especially well, although they did today somehow.
Somehow, some way. Yeah, they I mean, maybe it's transitive. They just beat the team that beat the Cowboys. I'm actually have to find some. You know what? I'm going to lay -4.5, minus 110.
All right. That's good.
It looks like I can get a -4, -115.
I support you in that endeavor.
Either way, doesn't matter. I'm gonna bet one of these. Jags Titans. We already went over that.
Yeah,
I'm on a different book now. Now I'm out of order again.
No opinion. Over 43, if you can get it. Is where the book you're at? Is it 43.5?
Jags Titans.
Yeah.
Well, now I gotta scroll down again. It is 43.5 -10.
I think that's a fair play to the over.
Okay.
Personally.
All right. On that as well, then. We'll
Seattle, Houston.
The Seattle team that has not quit for some reason.
Did we get an answer as to whether or not this is the Davis Mills show or the Tyrod Taylor show?
So earlier in the season, we talked a little bit about like when Tyrod Taylor got hurt, and it's like, oh man, when he gets back, they might be a lot better. He's looked pretty bad since he's been back. Are we making a big difference? I mean, are we making a big adjustment for Davis Mills anymore?
I mean, he's the worst of all the quarterbacks I've seen take meaningful snaps this year.
Yeah, I mean, and Cam played.
Yeah.
Mike Glennon played.
Yeah. Mills was worse.
Mills is worse, but maybe not by a lot, point or so. Seattle laying a bunch of points on the road in a season where they've signed Adrian Peterson. Lockett got dinged up again today. Russell Wilson looked just okay. I'm gonna have to do some soul searching on that. I don't want to bet that at all.
Mm-mm.
Like that's too many points for a shitty Seattle team on the road. But then you look at the other side, and it's like, oh, you're gonna bet the Texans? I didn't say that. I don't wanna be put into that box. So no bet there. Detroit, Denver, same line, except the home team's favored by 7 and a hook. Total 43. Probably gonna stay away from this because I don't know what kind of game we're gonna see from Denver tonight. I don't like betting these games too. Just it does stink betting on some of these teams that haven't played yet. Whenever you do that, somebody important gets hurt on the team you bet. So don't get too squirrely with those. I'm probably pretty close to that number though. What do you have for Denver, Detroit? If you had to make a line,
Denver 6.5.
Yeah, Detroit's squirrely. If Swift's back, make a case for it. But boy, what a step up in defenses. Denver's defense, a lot better than what we saw from Minnesota today. And it is at altitude, outdoors in December. So probably a little value on the Lions, but the Lions won their Super Bowl. If you believe in letdowns at all, like coming off finally getting a win and then going to play out in the elements and the altitude against a tough D, against Teddy Covers, have fun with that. So
hey, real quick, going back to Seattle and the mind-bendingly fucked that I'm trying to wrap my head around this team. Through 11 games, you want to guess how many times they attempted a fourth down?
6.
Yeah. How'd you know that?
I don't know. You know, I was just yelling numbers. I'm going to be right once in a while.
Oh, you got it exactly. 6. They went for 6 fourth downs all season.
I picked a low number. I mean, that's how many.
I think they converted. I think they
today?
converted one. I think they converted one. They went for twice today and converted both.
Well, here's a good thing from Brandon. Oh boy, Pensabene. That sounds like a delicious pasta. Yeah, I mean, Broncos teaser leg, probably not a bad look, although I thought Vikings teaser leg was a decent look today too. Although oh man, look at the parallels. Goofy defensive-minded head coach, game managing quarterback. Actually, I can't say that about Kirk anymore. Kirk's been pretty good this year. Look at that. He says I got it right. I'm pretty good with the names like that, apparently. Yeah, I like it as a teaser leg. There's probably a couple decent teaser legs on the board too, if you think about it. Seattle -1.5 on the road is not one I would be too excited to get in bed with. The Niners facing the Bengals teased up in Cincinnati, maybe. The Titans
Niners played pretty well last time they went to Cincinnati.
Titans down to 4.5, or excuse me, down to 4.5 off the 10.5 at the Jags. I probably would be interested in something like that. The Chiefs hosting the Raiders as a teaser leg. If you want to put a teaser leg in right now, you could, the Chiefs for next week are in the Wong zone, which isn't too bad of a place to be. Who is the NFL MVP? Trip, man. If I knew, I'd bet him. Does Fangio have a hot girlfriend too? No. She should dump Mike Zimmer, and he should get fired. He should have the worst day ever.
Ready? I have no opinion on the rest of these. These are tough calls, really.
Yeah, Niners decent teaser leg. Saints. If they
Giants we had talked a little bit about Detroit, Denver, Giants, Chargers. Chargers are laying 11. Wow. Totals 45.5. My God, the Giants offense has never been graded lower. Giants probably score more than the market thinks in this one. Maybe the Giants, this over 45.5 is solid.
So So I'm seeing a 46.
Chargers defense has given up, has had some absolute brain dead moments.
Do you think eventually we get to a point where we're betting a Giants team total over 17?
It kind of feels like that this week, honestly.
I want to take the 11 now, man. I can't quite get this screams.
I'm not at 11. I'm not even close.
This screams more Glennon, right?
Yeah.
By Glennon. Like if Daniel Jones is in, this number's gone. I'm gonna monitor that. Somebody figure out if Daniel Jones is playing. Somebody call him. Somebody out here knows. Look at this guy. This guy should know. This guy should know David Tepper, who has to know our guy up in New York. Tripp, take care of that. Glennon did
Buffalo,
get a concussion.
Tampa Bay, game of the weekend.
Yeah.
Glennon got concussed.
Yeah. Might scream Aaron Murray. Oh no, that's even worse. Don't bet this yet.
Aaron Murray is potentially your starting quarterback?
Can't they sign Cam? It's your turn. Cam's getting passed around like Adrian Peterson this year. All right, yeah, Buffalo, Tampa, probably the best game. How do you think this adjusts based off Monday's game? What if Buffalo loses outright?
Oh, Jake Fromm is the third stringer.
A rookie? Second? No, he'd be. Is he a rookie or is he a second-year player? I mix up these guys that get drafted way down.
Easy one to steer clear. Buffalo, Tampa. I think you grabbed the 3.5 with Buffalo now. Don't you think this is a competitive game?
Yeah, it's getting juicy at some places.
3.5 is. I'm a Tampa maximalist, and I don't understand 3.5.
I think I like the dog in the over here.
What the hell's going on with this? What the hell's going on with this number, though? I mean, I don't get it.
What are you seeing at 3.5? I'm seeing 3.5 minus 20 at Bet Online.
Bet Online, yeah.
Yeah, let's take some.
It's minus 120.
Yeah. I'm going to go with a low vig and bet it.
It's at 115.
They charge me a little more because they know I'll pay it.
Okay. Yeah, no, I see 115. 3.5 plus 3.5, 115.
Maybe I just need to refresh.
Or maybe they're giving me a break because of how many donations I've given them this year.
They're like, you're gonna log in one time and it's just gonna be minus 105 down the board.
No,
bet whatever you want.
Whatever you want here. We'll take anything. NFL, we'll take it. Yeah.
Okay. It must be 15 because I can get plus 3.5 minus 10 at low vig. So Buffalo plus 3.5, and minus 110.
Let's do it.
Red circle. Oh, it's not that low.
Let's do it.
All
right, man.
Any other takes for the playoff race, the MVP market?
Chicago Green Bay Sunday Night Football is a farce.
I forgot about that one. We didn't even touch that.
Rams Cardinals is Monday Night Football. That's a good one. Kind of like a little Rams there, but after getting burned so badly when the Rams played the Packers, my gut for betting Rams is not really there.
Yeah, we've seen two different kinds of Rams teams this year.
Yeah. Dogs, by the way, in the NFC West, do they have 8 wins already? I think they might.
I think they're getting there. Yeah, I joked about betting Seattle. I had no appetite for betting Seattle. I joked about it, and of course they win outright.
Of course.
Like there was nothing saying that they were going to play hard today or get the beneficial turnovers or the beneficial penalties especially. So
there were a couple penalties in that one that were like, wow, okay. Past it to end the half. Did you see the roughing the passer?
Yeah.
Oh man.
When do we find out about flexing?
It's usually 2 weeks ahead of time.
It's already done. Oh shit! So we are.
There's no way they're flexing in the Bears Packers. It's in stone.
Andy Dalton prime time. There's a good tip from Femi. Marlon Humphrey expected out to be out a while per Harbaugh.
Browns.
Good.
Let's get down. Downtown Cleveland Browns. Andy. Any chance that the Ravens miss the playoffs? Decent, right?
So the thing is, they were the 1 seed, but And technically now they're the 3 seed, but they are 8-4. And if the let's say the Broncos win tonight, and the Broncos would actually move into the playoffs, but the first team out only has one more loss than them. So they're the 3 seed, we're the 1 seed, but they're not that far out. Like they're 8-4. The Chiefs, Bills, Chargers, and Bengals are right behind them. 7-4, 7-4, 7-5, 7-5. Colts are 7-6. Yeah. So they're actually behind the Broncos, who are 6-5, have not played yet this week. The Steelers are in a weird spot with their tie. It'd be funny if the tie ends up putting them in. The Browns, if they get a win next week, would be 7-6. That would put them at 1 game behind the Ravens and then have split with them. So it can get some weird stuff if the Ravens start getting some injuries and the offense continues to look like this. Yeah, I'm gonna bet the Browns.
You want to know the last 5 games of the season for the Ravens without Marlon Humphrey, apparently?
Do tell.
At the Browns.
Okay.
Green Bay Packers.
Hey.
Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Matt Stafford and the Rams. And then another head-to-head via Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right. Yeah, not only am I betting the Browns, I'm going to look to see if there's a number.
If there's a yes, no on Ravens
like on a no, just it'd be fun to bet a no on this team right now. Or
are we giving them the kiss of fortune? We're giving them the kiss of fortune.
We might be giving them the deep dive kiss of fortune. But no, and if you are the kind of person that likes to break down schedules and look at that, go look at those and maybe take a long, hard look at what Cincinnati for to win the division is. Despite how it went.
In fact, the fact that Cincinnati lost, you can probably still get a really relatively decent.
That's what I'm saying. The fact that they lost that game and everybody, even the Steelers somehow are in the race to win this division. It would be hilarious if the Steelers won this division. Big Ben's going away tour, as we saw on social media.
It's not crazy, man. It really isn't. Not like the path is best as most charitably put plausible.
So the Steelers don't. None of them have an easy schedule. Steelers have the Titans, Vikings, Chiefs, Browns, Ravens.
Yeah, but all of a sudden, Titans and Vikings, I'm more interested in playing them than I'm interested in playing the Packers and Rams.
Yeah, that's fair. But I mean, these are all teams that are in or close to being in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're all competing.
You're not getting any cupcake. Nobody in this division is getting any cupcakes. We have to run some sims on this, figure out what we think of this division. So, yeah, Bengals to win the division, maybe not the worst look. And then, Dan, add it to the board. We're betting the Browns to win this week. Just call it a Browns at a pick'em.
Really, I would like you to soul search if we should add Browns to win the AFC North.
What's that price? Do you have a price up?
I remember it like 10-1 last week.
Don't you? This is like when your buddy orders a shot at like 2:30.
It's like you don't need
closes.
That. You don't need it. Do you need it anymore?
No. Do you think you need another shot of Browns?
No.
I feel like
honestly,
I feel like you've had enough, buddy.
If I saw this tickle across the wire tomorrow, Baker Mayfield on IR with shoulder surgery,
I'd probably bet the Browns.
Firing Browns. Firing Browns.
Case Keenum has been to a conference championship game.
Yes, he has.
That was the same year that Blake Bortles was in a conference championship game, though. So take that with a grain of salt. And to be fair, Nick Foles.
You want to know something wild?
I do.
Do you know how many? Do you know how many plays there have been in the NFL over the course of our lives as sports bettors?
I didn't know what. Like, I'm trying to think of a number, and so if there's 256 games a year, and you're talking, I'm not even gonna try to do the math. I mean, you're talking.
When was the first year you placed a bet on NFL? Like 2000, 2000.
Yeah, call me like 2002-ish.
Okay.
There's been 20 years NFL.
There's been one play out of approximately 200,000.
I was going to say 300,000.
That is called a miracle. And you know who was the quarterback for the miracle? Case Keenum. the Minneapolis
some
miracle.
were calling it the Motown miracle today, though. Or the Motor City miracle.
Motor City miracle. Which one are you talking about?
The Lions winning today.
Oh, the Lions winning today? People were calling that People were calling that a miracle?
I mean, just Joey. Like.
Oh, okay.
I think it was just him. Like, I did see one tweet. Yeah.
One tweet. Okay. No, in all of our lives, there's only one quote unquote miracle, and Case Keenum was the quarterback for that play. So
he had a pretty good receiver, though.
The other miracle I can remember was the Music City miracle, but that was before our time as Gaylor. So that's why I was couching it that
Miracle
way.
in the Meadowlands is a good call too.
Which one was the Miracle in the Meadowlands?
That was when Tom Coughlin. Was it Tom Tupa? Somebody tell me who the punter was.
This was Deshaun Jackson.
They punted
run back
to Deshaun Jackson for some reason, and Coughlin was so mad because he clearly told them, like, don't punt it so they can return it, like kick it out of bounds or something. Jeff Fiegels, that might be right.
Technically, the Miracle in the Meadowlands was in 1978, according to Wikipedia.
Oh, well, that was Herm Edwards, the return off the kneel or whatever, wasn't it? Yeah, that was the Herm Edwards fumble.
It was a fumble recovery by cornerback Herman Edwards, who plays to win the game.
Yeah, he does play the win. It was Jeff Fiegels. Yeah, my dad was just dying laughing at that punt, the Deshaun Jackson one, because he's like, look at Coughlin. Coughlin is like tomato bright red because he's screaming. He was so mad.
That was 2010. That wasn't our lifetimes. People
Browns
call
division.
The new miracle at the new Meadowlands.
Yeah, the miracle at the Meadowlands too. Browns division is 8-1 at WinBet for those people in WinBet states. It's about the best number I've seen.
Oh my God! It was Jeff Fiegels, was it?
I think that's what people are saying. That's what
the game is also known. The game is also known as the punt by Giants fans. See, I would have called if you said the punt, I would have picked up on that. But the miracle
he did. Yeah, he like dropped the punt. I remember he dropped the ball, picked it up, and then just Deion'd his way on down to the end zone.
Oh, the snapper from long snapper Zach Diassi to punter Matt Dodge was high, and Dodge hastily kicked a line drive punt to Jackson rather than kicking the ball out of bounds. It was Matt Dodge, not Jeff.
Dodge, dip, duck, and get cut. All right. Well, he filled one question, and then I want to go watch this game that's starting. What do you think the Bama Georgia finals line would be? Dan, feel free to put something in there in the
PK.
chat.
It's gonna be a PK.
I'd say Georgia -2.
Oh, no way. No.
You can't let one game cloud a season of results.
You know what? For a balance of the season, you could have bet into a pick 'em on that game.
Yeah. Dan says Bama -2.
All of the late overreaction to the Auburn game, combined with having not seen a stinker from Georgia.
What if Georgia goes with a different quarterback, though? Somebody brought that up. It was Dan. College football, and this is fair from Patrick McCann. College football is technically all about clouding a full season with one game, which was, and I hate, again, I apologize to you. I'm Catholic myself, or was at least. I don't like Notre Dame fans. A lot of them are just bandwagon fans. Like you're not all from fucking Indiana. There's just no way. There's not that many people from Indiana. It's like a Yankees fan in California just because they're good. So that the bandwagon stuff drives me nuts. But they're annoying on Twitter as well. But I still wanted the committee to do something and put like Notre Dame in over Cincinnati despite the head-to-head, because I thought that would have been a lot more funny on Twitter. Although I think the committee probably got shit right.
What's your guess as to, or here, you're a college football. You handicap college football all the time on your daily show.
Action.
Yeah. Right. Where's the national championship game, Andy?
New Orleans.
No.
Shit, I thought I had it. Florida, Orlando, Miami, Tallahassee,
no.
Dallas,
no.
Pasadena,
no.
Tampa Bay,
no.
Charlotte,
no.
Arlington.
No.
Frisco, Texas.
Great
That's a
guesses.
different
but
one.
all
That's a different
incorrect.
Indianapolis. Oh my God.
Indianapolis, the site of the Big Ten championship game. Can Michigan win 2 titles on the same field in the same season?
Yeah, I don't know. Michigan might be. Dan, we talked about this the other day. We joked about like how Indy is just set up to host conventions and Big Ten title games. Like they have all the hotels in the city set up right. But that is, yeah, it feels like Michigan probably.
Well, the Lions are just going to win every game here on out. Like, what if the last loss in the state of Michigan was Thanksgiving? Lions.
And then all of a sudden the Tigers go out and get one more free agent. Once the the lockout stops.
Lockout's over in 2023. Yeah. That'll be interesting.
I'd selfishly, I'd like to see the rematch. I'd like to see him play again.
Would you?
Yeah, I think so. That's what I want.
I don't need to.
Although, to be fair, and we'll close with this, I had some glimmer of hope that we'd see this vaunted Georgia defense absolutely shut down Young. And my Strouds and my Pickett's tickets would have some shot. And obviously, right off the bat, it just
bad fate for Pickett's tickets.
Even at halftime, it was like, well, those are dead. But I said, you know what, Andy? At least you got Colin Morikawa with the 5-stroke lead. And you'll make some money on that tomorrow.
No.
Yeah. So I'm at least I didn't bet Caleb Williams.
The Hero World Challenge is
it's a mess.
It's a mess. Victor Hovland wasn't he scratch? Wasn't he even after round 1?
He was like 22-1 this morning if you bet him.
Oh my God.
On the live line this morning. I should have, and I feel like I had some tickets at a book with a cash out button, which I would never use. It just after the fact, it's like I should have hit the cash out button. Don't do that.
Who was last? Was it Stenson?
Oh, Spieth might have been last.
My God.
There was a joke.
Spieth was +6.
They moved a tee box and didn't make it abundantly clear. So Spieth hit off the wrong tee box and got a 2-stroke penalty for it today because it's a shit show. It's a Hero World Open. But I will say there was a pretty good tweet about Spieth. Like, hey, nice little top 20 finish. We'll see how 2022 goes. Which, kudos. So, Broncos money line?
Top 20.
Spieth top 20.
Oh, right. My God. Oh, dude. This is what a weird bottom of the score, bottom of the leaderboard here. Webb Simpson was -7. Rory McIlroy was -6.
Stenson won this.
Stenson +1
years ago when they played it.
Spieth +6. Spieth was 12 shots off of 18th place.
All right, Sam Lipscomb's secret chat play Broncos money line +330. Yeah, the F1 was crazy this morning. That was fun.
Yeah. F1's had a great season, really. You know who's not having a great season? The Atlanta Hawks. I cannot believe they're going to lose to the Hornets in this spot.
Hey, they gave it their all.
You know who is having a solid game? The Toronto Raptors, who had the fatigue factor advantage today.
Are they going to make the playoffs?
Toronto Raptors?
Yeah.
Probably playing.
I bet them to make the playoffs.
They can win 2 games.
Okay, sounds good.
They're probably in that. They're probably going to be in the 9-10 game.
Let's shut down the shop until halftime.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys being in here. Hit the thumbs up on the way out. We're about to hit the music. Thanks for everyone in the chat. You guys were awesome today. I like that we started a little early. Gave it a little time to breathe. I think the Raptors can beat the Celtics in the 9-10 game, right? You're stuck at NBA. I love that. Your brain works. All right, we'll see you at halftime, guys. I would prefer to not have a play-in game. I don't know if that's in the cards, man. It's a young team. They're half more often.